think you're.
Yes. Okay. So a very warm welcome, a good evening to all our viewers. We are sorry to keep you waiting. There were some technical glitches. That's why it was a little delayed. So we are all here to know a little more about wellness program for substance users. Now, whoever's joined us, I request all our viewers to kindly share this link with as many people as you can so that we reach out to as many as we can. We never know who really requires this, right? So we have with us tonight Vikramji and Dr. Deepak. Jai Gurudev, Vikramji. Hello, Dr. Deepak.
Yeah, Gurudev.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I'll just briefly introduce Vikramji. Vikramji is heading the wellness initiatives of the Art of Living as Director Wellness Programs Department for the last 4 years. His position entails training the trainers in lifestyle modification and substance use cessation. He has been in the health and wellness realm over a decade, over 2 decades in product management and training. He is passionate about wellness and a holistic approach to achieve wellness, practicing yoga and meditation for over 2 decades. We also have with us Dr. Deepak, as I introduced to you. He's a senior social scientist with All India Institute of Medical Sciences, addiction treatment, training, and research. He has worked as an advisor for World Health Organization and is a faculty with the Art of Living Foundation since 2007. So I'm without any further delay, I'm just going to request Vikramji to share a little bit about this initiative, where it all started, how did it evolve? Vikramji?
Yeah. Thank you, Sheetalji. Now, where it all started, it started quite some time back as far as the art of living is concerned. But I would like to, digress a little and start with my own experience. See, I myself, before I came into the art of living, was, you could say, a heavy smoker, going up to about 50 cigarettes a day and, um, the drinking and things like that, a lot of partying and stuff like that. And this is where I was before the art of living. And I knew that I had to quit. It's not good for me. It's not good for my family. But after several attempts also, it did not really happen. I found it very difficult. Only when I did the Sudarshan Kriya, the first time I did the Sudarshan Kriya, everything just dropped. Two things which were very, very important for me to drop at that point in my life, I think I was able to drop. And I don't think I've ever had the craving ever again to either smoke or to drink, right? This is what made me get into this space in a very, very serious way. And I've been teaching courses, and I've also been teaching, the substance cessation modules for quite some time. And what I also, having said this, uh, I must also caution that everyone probably is not as fortunate as I have been. One Kriya and I have got out, right? There are
Yes,
many people who do not know about the Sudarshana Kriya.
right.
Second, in addition to Sudarshana Kriya, probably something more is required. That is what this whole program is all about. And we have many, experiences of people after having done the Sudarshana Kriya who have kicked the habit, and who have, come back to a healthy lifestyle. So I
Right.
think that sums up, how it all started. There are virtually thousands and thousands of people who have come out this way. Yes, Sheetalji.
Beautiful. Thank you. From where you started off and where you are today, commendable. I would request Deepak ji also to, if there's anything that he wants to add, or maybe he can share, more about the course so that in the benefit of all our viewers who have joined us live today. Deepak ji?
Thank you, Sheetalji. And uh, like Vikram Bhaiya, rather unlike Vikram Bhaiya, I'm not going to share my coming out of nicotine use after doing Sudarshan Kriya, right? But that's a fact. I've been into research in addiction. I've been into teaching people how to help people
Quit.
get out of addiction. But I myself could manage to get out of addiction after doing Sudarshan Kriya. So this is for the first time that I'm sharing this on any public platform, right? It works, right? There's no doubt about it. And there are many people who have actually been being benefited through these very important, very effective processes, and especially Sudarshan Kriya. There has been lot of research in terms of helping the efficacy of Sudarshan Kriya in alcohol dependence. And besides alcohol dependence, it basically hits at the roots. Sudarshan Kriya and depression, Sudarshan Kriya and anxiety, Sudarshan Kriya and stress, right? These are the indirect ways through which substance use is being handled by Sudarshan Kriya. Because we all know that among the major factors for somebody's initiation and continuance of any substance, be it nicotine, be it alcohol, or cannabis, or something that we call as harder drugs, low mood or the mental state, the chronic stress are major factors which play a very important role in initiation as well as maintenance of substance use. Right. So my experience is also like what Vikram Bhaiya just shared. But before we move forward, uh, I would like to share the magnitude of the problem. Right. We all know that it's a big problem, right? But it will be interesting, or it will be an eye opener for us if we see the magnitude of the problem. So please allow me to share my screen and a brief presentation, and after that we'll take question answers.
Definitely. Yes.
So I'll be talking about this global adult tobacco survey, which was done in the year 2016 and 17. And as per this survey, 19% of men and 2% of women, cumulatively making it around 10.7%, which is 99.5 million of all adults currently smoking tobacco. And then 29.6% of men and 12.8% of women, cumulatively making it 21.4% of all adults currently using smokeless tobacco. The chewable form of tobacco is a major form of smokeless tobacco in India. In total, around 42.4% of men and 14.2% of women, in total around 28.6% of all adults are current tobacco users. And that is a huge in terms of number. That comes to around somewhere around 35, 36 crore people are currently using adults are currently using it. Then around 55.4% of current smokers are planning or thinking. This is something very interesting. People think that usually those who are using tobacco or nicotine, they are not bothered or they are not interested in stopping it. But this survey came out with this very interesting finding that more than half of them are currently planning or are at least contemplating of quitting smoking, and almost the same number of smokeless tobacco users are also thinking of getting out of it. So we can derive this conclusion that unlike popular perception that people are not interested in quitting, it is other way around. More than half or almost around half of them, they are actually thinking of getting out of it. Why it is not happening, we'll discuss that later. But this is something very interesting for us to know.
Hmm.
Then around half of the current users have been advised by healthcare professionals to get out of it if they want to do something about their health condition. Majority of the smokers, they are aware of the health consequences. This statement also has an implication, right? Which basically means that just having knowledge
Hmm.
is not enough, right? There's something more that is required to get out of it, right? Just information dissemination, just making people aware of the harm of the substance is not helping, right? Because almost everyone who is using is aware of the adverse consequences, and they believe that it is causing them a serious illness. And same like this is true in both smoking as well as smokeless tobacco.
Smokeless. Hmm.
Then coming to alcohol, right? Around 14.6% of the people in the age group of 10 to 70 are alcohol users, which essentially means that there are 16 crore alcohol users. Out of this, 5.7, this is a very interesting figure. We'll talk about it sometime later. 5.7 crore people are problem users. So here I would like to clarify when we talk about problem users, it is basically somewhere between uh, occasional user and dependent users, right? Which means though that they have started experiencing problems
Hmm.
because of their alcohol use, but they are not yet become dependent on it. Which, in other analogy, we can say if we equate it with like cardiac issues. So 20%, 30% of blockage in arteries vis-a-vis 90-95% blockage in arteries. In terms of the outcome, in terms of harms, the better somebody does something about it, the better would be the chances and lesser would be the consequences of it. And then we have 2.9 crore dependent users. And talking about cannabis, there are 3.1 crore cannabis users. 72 lakh, out of these 72 lakh are problem users, and 25 lakh are dependent on cannabis. There is lot of talk about cannabis use, but the dependence liability of cannabis has been well researched and well proven. And then this is again a very interesting finding that 75% of the people who were either in problem use or who are dependent users, they tried to quit, but they did not receive any help, which basically highlight the treatment or service gap in terms of managing substance use, right? So there is a lot of work. There are a lot of people who use, number one. There are a lot of people who are interested to do something about it, but they are not getting the desired help. And then very briefly, I'll talk about the very interesting phenomena of how substance use in general is being viewed or is being managed. And then here we comes to a very interesting finding that when we talk about substance use, the first thing that comes in our mind is a picture of somebody who is totally into it. And we usually think that these are the people who actually require help, which is not true, right? Because there is a big number of people who have already started experiencing problem, and that unless and if they do not get the right help at the right time, there are fair amount of chances then that they are going to convert themselves into dependent use. So professionals are more comfortable in dealing with dependent users because they have medicines, they have all range of pharmacotherapy and psychotherapies available for managing dependent users. But when we talk about this abusers or the problem users, it has also been referred as hazardous or harmful users, which is more by their sheer numbers and is a bigger public health concern, right? But professionals, when I say professionals, people who are specialized in managing substance use, they are not very comfortable in their ability, in their skill in managing these problem users. And as a result, there are very few intervention available for them. And this program, basically, when we talk about wellness program for substance use and tobacco cessation, is all about managing problematic substance users and tobacco users. And when I say tobacco or nicotine users, here I am talking about the dependent users, because nicotine is one of the most dependence producing substance. And that is why it is unusual to see non-dependent nicotine users. Anybody who uses nicotine for 1 or 2 times, he would become a dependent on that. So basically, when we talk about substance use or these psychoactive substances, it basically affects the frontal and midbrain region, which are essentially the regions which controls emotions, thinking, judgment, and memory. I've highlighted this because if we see, and as Vikram Bhaiya also at the outset talked about Sudarshan Kriya helping him to get out of it. So essentially, these are the regions where pranayama and Sudarshan Kriya hits and helps, right? So we all know that how Sudarshan Kriya and pranayama helps in managing and controlling emotions, affecting the process of thinking, judgment, and memory. And that could probably one of the scientific reason behind why Sudarshan Kriya and pranayama is able to help so many people to get out of it. So if we see the usual progression of anybody into substance use, it usually starts with something called as use or social use, occasional use, right? And then a person kind of starts getting into problematic or harmful use, right? And then if he doesn't do anything about it, then that out of from a significant number of people who started as a social drinker, they got themselves into harmful use, and then it led them to a dependence use, right? And there is no way that we can predict that who can manage and remain just an occasional user, whose use can become problematic use, and out of those problematic users, how many would actually become dependent users. So best way is to stay away from, and something which we call as a white zone. So there are three major zones. Green zone people who are able to manage, do fine with their occasional use. Then there is a yellow zone, which essentially is of people or individuals who have started experiencing some problems. It could be health problems or psychosocial or familial issues. And then there is a very small number which essentially are dependent users. But in terms of managing, only this small red zone is being considered to be a zone where entire intervention efforts have to be focused, which is an irony, right? Because
Dr. Deepak, Dr. Deepak, the harmful use, the number of users in India would be around close to about 6 crores, Deepak ji,
yes, we are.
if we put a number to it.
Yes, it
Yeah,
would be.
yeah, that's about, yeah,
Yeah,
6
that,
crore. Yeah,
that would be around six crores,
yeah.
and which is a huge number.
Huge, huge.
And in terms of prognosis also, if the people are able, if we are able to help people in this yellow zone, then their chances of completely getting out of it are manifold. Like it is
Brighter,
bright,
much brighter. Yeah,
much
yeah.
brighter, because we all know that once a person becomes dependent, then it becomes it's a chronic relapsing disorder. It becomes throughout the life he is into that laundry,
Yes, yes.
getting the problem, then getting out of the problem, then again going back to the same environment, relapsing again, restarting it again. Then it becomes a vicious circle.
Yes.
So best way to intervene is stop people to get into green zone. Let us expand the white zone, which we through Art of Living we are already doing it. Like it is not possible to basically prevent everyone from getting into it. So helping people who have entered into green zone, yellow zone, and this is the major area where we can work, because there is no pharmacotherapy, no other treatment options available for them.
Yes.
And then briefly, if we try and see why do people take drugs, that is again a very important and has uh, fairly a potent linkage when we talk about the spirituality based programs, especially art of living, right? So if we see uh, and club all the reasons behind why people use it, so we'll find that there are only two reasons why people use drug. One is that people, they feel they use it to feel good,
Hmm.
which essentially means that they use it to have a new feeling, sensation, experience, and to share these experiences with their fellow beings. And then on the other hand, there are a category of people who are experiencing some challenges in their life, and they think that by taking a psychoactive substance, they can feel better. Especially, and here comes the category of people who are suffering or who are experiencing anxieties, worries, fear, depression, hopelessness. They are the people who think that by taking it, they'll be able to manage this. And then if we link it with the research outcome of Sudarshan, Kriya in managing all these issues and this. So this is how Sudarshan Kriya works in helping people to get out of a psychoactive substance. As I said, that usual drug use career starts with experimentation, which turns into occasional or irregular use, and then regular use, then getting the person getting into regular use, and then dependence and addiction happens. And there are many stages before a person actually becomes dependent to help. And talking about again talking about this program. This program is all about stopping people to get into dependence.
Hmm.
So I was just going through uh, uh, since last a few months this special interest of try and understand what is it which is helping people to get off substance use after doing Sudarshan Kriya and Art of Living program and other pranayam based program, and especially in the light of this wellness program for substance users and tobacco cessation. So what I came out with a very interesting finding that uh, using substance or using any substance use is all about a dose, which essentially means that it is the chemical secretion
Hmm.
which produces the effect, right? So when I say dose is about dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So you talk about nicotine or you talk about any psychoactive active substance, the effects are experienced through this interplay of chemicals or their propensity to generate or activate these chemicals. And then there are organic ways. Our body is a very has a state of art factory to basically produce this chemical in organic and very like green ways, right? So if we talk about dopamine, so once we complete any task, when we do a self care activities, when we eat food with complete awareness, and when we celebrate, then what we actually do, why we get happiness by doing this, is because it kind of uh, secretes. We are able to generate these chemicals. Then serotonin is basically when we meditate. So why do we feel good after meditating? After meditation, one of the reason is that again it helps in secretion of serotonin, which is also termed as a chemical for the mood. And then running, sitting in sunshine, taking walking in the nature, swimming, all these activities, right? And then playing with pet, playing with baby, hugging, so giving someone a compliment helps in release of oxytocin, and then endorphin, the painkiller. Our body has property to generate endogenous opioids, and that is why when we get hurt while running or while doing some physical activity, we do not feel pain. We feel pain afterwards, right? So laughing exercises, watching comedy, exercising, and all that helps. So what I'm trying to emphasize here is that there are organic ways, there are better ways, and these chemical can be activated, generated through uh, through by not taking, by not resorting to any psychoactive substance. And that is why while planning this program, besides what I just said, that special pranayams, Sudarshan Kriya and all that, this program has all these elements, which basically works at the need. of why people take it. So if I summarize this program is not about helping people to stop using any substance. This program is all about eliminating the need to use substance, any psychoactive substance. So this is what it is, and we have come out with a very interesting uh, initiative, which is linked to New Year resolution, right? Because again, there have been research studies, and if we review the last 10 years research on top resolutions that individual or people take in terms of making New Year resolutions. So substance stopping alcohol, stopping tobacco figures among the top 5 resolutions. If we see retrospectively about the last 10 years, major resolution that people take. So talking about resolution to stop alcohol and a resolution to stop smoking, around 50% of the people who are into problematic use of any substance or who are nicotine users, essentially nicotine dependent, more than half of them, they have this thing in their mind as New Year resolution that this year they should get out of it. And despite making effort, majority of them fail. And when I say majority, it is almost 90 to 95% of the people who basically drop their resolution within 3 weeks of making it, right? So, which essentially means that there is a willingness to do it. People actually want to do it, and people actually try to do it, especially during New Year time. And then further studying the reason why people are not able to sustain or maintain their resolution is that this is a problem which requires a specialized intervention. It is a disorder, and which requires specialized intervention. And when we talk about a specialized intervention for specifically about problematic users, it essentially is behavioral intervention, and most widely used intervention and most effectively used intervention is something called as cognitive behavior therapy. So one of the hallmark of a wellness program of substance user is that we are using culturally specific and adapted cognitive behavior therapy along with Sudarshan Kriya, very special pranayam techniques which Gurudev has suggested, and it is bearing very encouraging results. So this is what it is. It is something that I was just talking about a New Year resolution to get out of it. So this is what I had to talk about.
That was very interesting, Deepakji. You have given so much in such a short time. Kind of information you've given is
it's difficult.
Huge.
It's difficult.
I know.
Absolutely. In fact, I was going to say that most of my questions that I have received, most of them have been answered already through your presentation. When I was talking, I wanted to ask you about, so what are the unique features of this program and the, very popular myths and beliefs around substance use. So you have addressed almost everything about why people, they are able to quit, but they restart again. You have addressed most of the questions. 99% of my questions are already answered that I had received from the viewers. So there is one question that I would still like to ask in relation to the present COVID scenario, right? So has there been, any significant change in the pattern of substance consumption during this time? And also, how does it affect our immunity? You know, if you could just throw some light on that, it
I
would
think
be nice.
alcohol and immunity. I would request Vikram Bhaiya, because Vikram, this is Vikram Bhaiya's favorite topic.
Yes, please, Vikram
Yeah.
Bhaiya.
We would like to
See,
hear.
yeah. When we talk about immunity, it's not just COVID. Mind you, COVID is one thing which is so, it's got everyone's attention. But immunity is so big. Even cancers, there's your immunity system fighting to make sure that your precancerous cells are taken care of. All that is got to do with immunity. And immunity, there are some very, very significant factors that influence immunity. Number one, of course, is food. There's no doubt about it. Food has a very, very big impact on your immunity. I'll give you one example, one aspect of food. For instance, your vitamin C, which is so critical. Your WBC is so hungry for vitamin C. If you're not eating enough fresh fruits and vegetables, which are a good source of vitamin C, you're in trouble, right? I don't take any holistic or moralistic view about vegetarianism and all that, but this is one very big reason why you should consume more fruits and vegetables. So food is one. Second is physical activity. You see, the lymphatic system, which is running parallel to your circulatory system, the heart is driving the circulatory system, but for the lymphatic system, there is nothing driving the lymph. It is only your physical activity, especially walking. Your calf muscle is called the second heart of the body, right? So food, physical activity, right? Third is sleep. Sleep. If you're not sleeping enough, you're a sitting duck to all kinds of problems. And the fourth factor, equally important. All these four are equally important. Let's not try to say this is more important, this is less important. All the four. The fourth factor is substance use. Any form of substance use impacts your immunity to a great extent, right? More so in this pandemic situation, COVID-19 situation, we all need to be very careful, and we should take this as a big reason to quit substance use. And as Deepakji so beautifully, in fact, it is Deepakji who has helped us construct the whole program. Though I have been teaching this program, only when I started talking, interacting with Dr. Deepak, could I get better insights as how this program could be made more effective to reach more people. So I think Sheetalji, that gives your answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
food, exercise, sleep, and very, very important, quit substances. All forms of it.
Right.
Yeah, because your immunity it takes a direct hit.
Right. Right.
That's it.
Okay. There is one more question, and I would like to ask that question as well. You know, do you think that the marketing gimmicks of these manufacturing companies play a role in influencing substance users? Uh, is there anything you would like to say about that?
Ji, this is a very interesting question.
Yeah.
But to elaborate upon this question, we'll need time. So
Right.
why don't we keep this question for tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Good
Right?
reason. There is
Right.
a
Yeah.
lot of ammunition there.
Yes, because this is very interesting that you have raised
Yeah.
how these marketing companies
Yes.
have played with our mind.
Right.
Very interesting question, but I would like to like if I talk about it in one or two sentence, I will not be happy and I won't be able to do justice with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let
Okay.
us keep it.
There are many myths about
Yes,
substance use. I think.
myth and very interesting
Yeah.
strategies and change in strategies. That
Right.
would be very interesting to hear and understand how we actually, if I may be allowed to use this word, how we have been made fool by these marketing companies.
Right.
And
Right.
same is
I,
happening with
I would say irresponsible marketing companies. There are a lot of people doing responsible work also.
right,
Yeah. Irresponsible, absolutely irresponsible.
because
Yes.
tomorrow when we'll talk about the dilemmas of the marketing consultants of these marketing companies, especially nicotine companies, in their different meetings and in their different narratives. They did express about their moral and ethical dilemmas that these companies have faced time to time in terms of their strategies
Right.
of promoting it.
Deepakji, tomorrow I think we should also probably touch upon a little bit on vaping, which seems to be getting bigger than actually the tobacco industry per
Yes,
se.
yes,
It's
yes.
getting to be very big.
Right.
Right.
So, Shitalji, why don't you uh, tell us about the next program and share us the detail,
Yes, I'm just going to
share
do
the
that.
detail with the viewers.
Yes, yes. So this is something that we have already seen, but this is what, yeah. Is it visible?
Yeah, you can make it a full
Yes, it
screen,
is.
Shitalji.
Yeah.
Make it a
Sure, sure. Yeah.
yeah. That's more better
Yes.
visibility.
So
Yes.
we have courses coming up on the 1st to 7th of January, and the timing we have both morning and evening batches, 6:30 to 9:30 in the morning and 6 to 9 in the evening. And we have another course also beginning from 4th to 10th of January, and that will be an evening batch, 6 to 9 p.m. You can, all the viewers can probably, this is also, all these details are also being shared with you in the description box below of this video, and you can access it from there as well. uh, After all that, Vikramji and Deepakji have shared, I don't need to say much. We all know who are the people who need this around us, and I think it's our responsibility to reach out to people, just to let them know there is something that can help them come out of this, right? So this is the least that I think we must do from our end for sure. Yeah, so I can just leave this on for a little bit.
Yep.
And all these details are actually there in the description box below
Yeah.
as well. So you can access it
Yeah.
from there as well.
I think YouTube, they can continue to put their questions. We could take
Yes.
the
And
questions
we
even
can,
after we end the show. The questions can still be, you can keep logging in your questions. We could take the questions tomorrow.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
Yes, we can definitely.
So that's it.
Yes.
Right. Thank you. Thank
So
you very much.
we request all of you to join in again tomorrow. You'll get a lot more interesting, facts and figures and a lot of food for thought.
Tomorrow will Shital, let us name tomorrow's session as games tobacco companies play.
Right.
Play.
So are we going to have participants answer our questions? Is that what you're saying, Raya?
No, no, this was just came across when you asked this question about marketing companies.
Right.
So this famous book of Eric Berne, Games People Play.
Yeah, yeah.
From there, I got this idea that games the marketing companies play
Play. Right.
for nicotine,
All
and
right.
now the same game they have started playing with what Vikram Bhaiya I just said, that e-cigarettes and cannabis.
I was just going to bring that up, but that was another topic that I thought, we will need more time to elaborate on. So
Yeah,
I just held
yeah.
myself back, and
No,
maybe we
that's
can
fine.
take up these things
It's
tomorrow.
always good to leave something in terms of interest and curiosity.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right.
So, on the behalf of everyone present here, I would like to thank all our viewers. Please do join us tomorrow. We apologize for the delay today, but we'll do our best to start on time tomorrow. So, stay tuned. Connect with us tomorrow and do share and spread this message. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Jai Gurudev.
Yeah, Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.